Wash it down like a motherfucking face rat. Bitch, I'm the one who gon' make it hold they bad. Stay off the net, you a snake with your...
What's up, YouTube? We back with another one. Hey, man. Part 2. King Von, first serial killer. We're gonna get straight to it. Let's get it.
And around the world, Von's name would be ringing as people would begin to discover what appeared to be the realest gangster rapper who ever lived.
Man, we got through the whole before he started
Being acquitted of all charges in the murder of Malcolm Stuckey, King Von would walk out of jail a free man once again around the 6th of December 2017, being seen walking fresh out of the gates on social media. Von would also return to Twitter as well as the streets, telling 16 Shot and Visuals that his friend E-Dog from O-Block picked him up and the first thing they did was go and buy a gun. At the time of his release, Von wasn't yet a rapper. It's unclear if Von ever really had aspirations of transitioning from shooter to rapper. On the one hand, there's old tweets where he perhaps jokingly said that him and T-Roy had planned to release music, but nothing ever materialized. On the other hand, he had also tweeted that if he ever starts rapping, you should kill the person closest to you because something ain't right. So it's safe to say that at least initially, Von's plans were not music. At least not for himself, because one person who hadn't forgotten Von during his long 3.5 years in jail was his childhood friend and Chicago rap superstar Lil Durk, who had tweeted his support for Von whilst he was still in jail fighting his charges, and apparently calling him regularly, even providing money for a lawyer. Durk would welcome Von home from jail with open arms, with Von actually revealing later that his friendship with Durk had initially had an ulterior motive, and at first he was just planning to hang around Durk and rob people that he knew just to get himself to $100,000.
I wasn't no rapper, so it wasn't my none of that rapper shit. I'm thinking like, I just need to get 100,000. I'm gonna be decent. I'm gonna rob this.
That is a crazy approach.
Wait a minute. He's saying Von was befriending Durk?
Nah, they were friends, but he said his motive wasn't, become a rapper and stuff.
Right.
He said he just wanted to hang around. As Durk was getting bigger, I guess, hang around people that Durk was hanging around and robbing. So
okay.
they get to $100,000.
Wow.
That's crazy. I just needed that 100,000. I'm gonna be decent. I'm gonna rob this.
And I'm gonna rob this other. And this is what I was thinking in jail when I was. Before I got to jail, stuff your whole
That's crazy.
They say, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna go around Durk, and I'm just gonna catch me. I'm gonna go around Durk, and I'm gonna catch me like 2, 3. You see what I'm saying? And Durk, I ain't gonna let him know because he gonna try to stop it.
After coming home from jail, music was the last thing on King Von's mind. He just wanted to get money and flex his newfound freedom. He would be seen fresh home, posing in new outfits on Instagram, with pictures celebrating his freedom, attracting threats from his enemies like FBG Cash. But it seemed that Von's friends would be looking out for him, and no one was looking out for Von more during this time than Lil Durk, who would invite Von into his life and entourage as he continued his rise as one of Chicago's most promising rappers. Durk was working on his 2018 mixtape Just Cause Y'all Waited, and that tape featured the classic track Durky-O Crazy. Soon after getting out of jail, Von would be sitting in the back of Durk's car previewing this future classic before it was released. Perhaps the reason that Durk wanted to play Von this track is because the song itself references Von's case, with Durk rapping that a witness went missing and now Von is coming home. Once again, Von's real life of crime was providing inspiration for Chicago's biggest rappers. Clearly Durk was inspired by the return of his newly freed hitter and would continue spending time with him. Later that day, in the same Instagram live, King Von would explain to Durk how he grew his hair in jail just to keep himself warm, and explaining just how painful the shackles were that he was forced to wear whilst in solitary confinement.
It was cold tonight. It was cold tonight. It was cold and great. I was at baby.
Hey, that's smart. Grow your hair out. Boy, you got a bald head up and up or like a low fade. Know your head go cold every night. Especially you ain't got no hats up in there.
Oh, it was ugly. Ankle still got that scar on it left for the thing. The shackles killing me.
Going to court?
In the hole, you gotta wear shackles.
Oh, man?
Man, everything.
Every day?
Every time you come out?
Oh.
Yeah, every day. You gotta get on the phone, you just man.
This is what you want, we can do.
Right, no, it'd be the back of my shit, cause my ankles little as hell, full on. Look, I got that curl in them.
Von would seemingly spend Christmas 2017 with Dirk too, with them being seen together on social media, listening to classic Chicago drill anthems by L.A. Capone. Moving into 2018, Von started off in classic savage mode, posting on social media, toting guns, and declaring his desire to bring war to his ops. He had been seen on clips on social media, walking through O-Block and showing the world that he was still in these streets, untouched even after all of the people he had allegedly killed. Even speculating on who was in the comments on these lives, his ops or the cops.
I know we're not lying.
You know I'm ready to block. Y'all in the house, so I don't need one of these affairs of folks them. Folks not gonna like feds.
As January went on, Von would continue to flex his muscles on social media, and he would be seen listening to NBA YoungBoy of all people, whilst chilling with O-Block native Mana Duke, and telling followers that they were smoking their dead ops.
A lot of your dead mans. Fun them. Superman, goddamn it, Brickman, Kobe Man. You be strapped up. And we strapped up.
Clearly, Von was still in the streets initially. After enjoying some time in Atlanta with Lil Durk, once he'd returned to Chicago in February, he'd quickly find himself in trouble, tweeting that he was riding around with a gun and weed. Then he would end up getting arrested at O-Block on February the 14th, 2018, the one-year anniversary of T-Roy's death. With this arrest taking place soon after he tweeted that he was in O-Block and armed on the anniversary of T-Roy's murder. Von would be arrested on charges of shooting and bodily harm, with cops claiming that he ran from them and threw a gun, battering them in the process of the arrest, with the body cam footage of this arrest later becoming public, which showed a menacing King Von telling the police with pride that he just beat a body and 2 attempted murders.
So this is John we were chasing, but
I saw this on TikTok.
on video they went back, went under the cars where we think he ditched it, got in the vehicle, we stopped the vehicle, get him out, battery, fight with that. Vehicle takes off on us when we got this, and then we got about 50 people around us. So you're gonna go to jail for battery to a police officer.
Why?
Me?
Well,
And you also.
what at?
Thank you very much. We'll take it then.
Cups is also in the car. If I go home, it's Valentine Day.
You got your plate numbers? You got it on tape, man? Oh, you don't have that. Okay, the last one.
Come on, finish.
Switch them up.
2 in, 2 on, T.
Watch, because he's gonna. You look her.
They want. They want.
And she was here the whole time videotaping. Oh, well, for majority of it, not when we got him out of the car. Like,
Cause y'all let me go to my
Yeah, a lot of time.
What would you like to
body too.
I'm sorry.
You want it?
Hey, he had the cop flabbergasted. Bro said, what? I'm sorry? Bro was not expecting that. He talking about a body in 2 attempts. With no hesitation.
I'm sorry.
You want it? You can have it.
You're gonna want to cuff him in the back.
Yes.
He's all kinds of fun.
Let go. We got you.
Let go, stupid man.
No, we got you.
Let go.
You got locked up over here recently?
No, hell no.
Would you like something?
Huh? I got it. Jail be my case. I'll try to President murder.
You on video right now, man.
It's cool.
Which case you in your bed?
So I'm getting trouble right now. Put that on video.
We're gonna figure it out.
Now, not on the.
Yes, you are.
What?
Probably trespass over here
Oh, yeah.
and hitting the guy.
Hit who? Everybody got fur wood.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
All right. Where's your coat, man?
He asked him, man, the super cop.
Where's your coat?
Super cop.
It's gone?
After the arrest, a furious-looking King Von mugshot circulated online, but Von would be out within just a couple of days, tweeting that he believes that the cops have it out for him, because he escaped those murder charges. And he would boast that he would never let them get him. Clearly, King Von wasn't ready to permanently move on from his life as an O-Block hitter, and he would still be going live on O-Block in March 2018, mocking their dead ops.
Right. Who got Superman? I can't be in no room without smelling Tuka. I gotta at least smell it from just to know like Tuka's still around and loving memory of Tuka.
But Von would also continue to be seen hanging out closely with Lil Durk, seemingly making regular trips to spend time with the rapper in Atlanta. At a certain point, Von and Durk would be reunited with another friend and feared Chicago shooter, THF Bezu, with Bezu, just like Von, beating a 2014 murder charge for a shooting that occurred in 2009. Lil Durk was now rolling with 2 certified Chicago shooters on his team.
Hey, that's when Durk, I think that's like when he started like his music. Durk, that's when he used to diss. Like Durk definitely name dropped like before Von came around, but he had kind of stopped name dropping. He started doing like subliminal disses and stuff like that, like real slick disses that sounded good in the music. But around this time, Durk had turned back up. See, I knew he was around. Eventually, I knew he was hanging around Von when Von blew up, but I didn't know he was around all the hitters like this. I think that's
pulled them in the camp.
Yeah, this kind of turned Durk back up. That's when he started dropping, hey, no auto, Durk, all that. He started going crazy.
You got the shooters.
He was back around. Yeah, he was back in the hood, back around the real killers. Turned him back up for real.
The plan wasn't to shoot. Durk planned instead to transform these hardened street figures into rap superstars. The realest rappers who had ever rapped, with the realest backstories to back it up. Von would post pictures in the studio with Durk, saying that he isn't going back to his old ways, and hinting to an upcoming career in the rap game. Since beating his murder case and coming home, Von had the perfect backstory to kickstart his music career too. THF Bezu had essentially been through the very same situation, so Von and Bezu would be paired up and placed into a studio where they would record a song all about their shared experience beating real-life murder charges, something that Von and Bezu would open up about in a 16-shot interview.
Me and some bodies. Like that's the story we can tell. Like they tried to put some bodies in the
On May the 27th, 2018, King Von and THF Bezu released their first song, Beat That Body, a track coming with shocking lyrics where Von essentially admits to catching bodies, beating them, and even saying that he now plans to catch more. This insane backstory would be irresistible for Chicago drill fans, with Durk later revealing that people instantly went crazy for Von's music in Chicago.
And he see like us what we doing with music, and I had a studio in my house. He just tried it when he dropped a song, like the reaction was like, next. You on the song, you know what I'm saying?
But Von didn't seem too hopeful for his rap career to begin with, barely promoting the song, and seemingly having no plans to give up his full-time job as an O-Block driller, or at least shot caller, because in the months that followed Von's musical debut, killings would still continue to play out in the streets, with Von appearing to remain plugged into the action. Not only giving Von and his gang even more credit in the streets, but with these murders also providing Von with the inspiration to get back into the booth, where he would continue to record music all about the deadly violence that he would soon become famous for. When King Von was in jail, numerous people from O-Block ended up getting killed. Perhaps it was precisely because their most fearless shooter was in jail that so many people ended up passing while he was gone. Von was particularly hurt by the killing of T-Roy, his right-hand man, and after T-Roy was killed, a new set of gangsters would form in O-Block who went by the name Get Back Gang. This was a hardened crew of shooters whose sole focus was to get revenge or get back for the murder of T-Roy and other beloved O-Block natives who had been killed while Von was in jail. Another one of these fallen O-Block affiliates was Chino, who was shot dead on the 17th of July 2016. Another, Big A, was gunned down in a restaurant near O-Block on the 4th of December 2016. Get Back Gang would be on a killing spree trying to avenge their fallen friends, looking to kill anyone who played a role in their demise. Poppy, believed to have been involved in hits against O-Block, would be gunned down at work on the 16th of June 2017, allegedly being shot in the head by an O-Block member called Heck, who would go on to be known by the nickname HK or Headshot King. HK was T-Roy's brother and would reportedly avenge him, with T-Roy's alleged killer TB or Terry Barry being shot dead on the 26th of December 2017. However, HK himself would end up being killed in O Block 2 just before Von got out of jail on the 24th of November 2017. Another person who seemingly lost their life to Get Back Gang's revenge campaign during this time would be FBG Brick, FBG Duck's brother, rumoured to have played a role in giving up T-Roy's...
That's when you hear, be hearing it. I know there's a couple songs that they didn't mention. They said something like Brick or something like that. I know it's a Vaughn song we heard. He had said Brick before. I guess that's what they mentioned.
To the ops the day he was killed, with Brick and his friend Kobe being gunned down in a Get Back Gang attack on the 17th of July 2017. In fact, many of these murders played out in 2017 whilst Von was still behind bars for the murder of Malcolm Stuckey. And when Von got out, despite becoming a rapper, spending time in Atlanta with Lil Durk, and seemingly taking a step away from the gang war, Von would still seem to be looked at as a senior figure and shot caller to members of O Block and Get Back Gang. And when they killed again, King Von would be on the sidelines celebrating the murder as if it was one of his own. On June the 13th, 2018, King Von would tweet saying that there's a new rule. You can only diss or smoke a dead person that you yourself actually killed. Only days after that tweet, Get Back Gang would unfortunately claim another life. The next unlucky person to be killed would be a St. Lawrence native by the name of Can't Get Right, aka Man Man, real name DeAndre Wallace. On June the 15th, 2018, around 9:50 p.m, Can't Get Right is waiting for food outside of a store on 400 block of East 63rd Street. At a certain point, two people pulled up and waited outside, and when the target was spotted, those two men ran up, opening fire, killing both the target as well as an innocent bystander that was just there sweeping up outside the restaurant. And once again, the shooting and immediate aftermath were captured on CCTV footage and by witnesses in clips that are far too grisly to show you on YouTube. Both men shot in the incident were pronounced dead at the University of Chicago Hospital, with the news even later reporting on this assassination.
Morning are looking for the gunman who killed two men overnight. They were standing outside of a store in the city's Woodlawn neighborhood when someone started shooting. A 43-year-old man was shot in the chest. He died at the hospital. The other victim, a 22-year-old, also died. Police say the 22-year-old is a known gang member and was the intended target.
King Von would go live on the same day as this double murder alongside Nemo 600 while still in Atlanta with Lil Durk's team. And in this live, King Von would set out to poke fun at his murdered rivals immediately after they were killed. And let's not forget, only days before this, King Von tweeted that you can't disrespect the dead unless you played a role in killing them. With that in mind, King Von's livestream after the murder was truly a masterclass in self-incrimination. They would start the live off lighting a blunt and saying that their smoking can't get right and asking the viewers what just happened.
Hey, dog, can't get right. Hey, dog, can't get right.
All right, everybody, not at one time. What just happened? What just happened?
A lot of places to
you right there with your hand. You take mine. Who got killed? That's what I'm asking y'all. Who got killed, man?
Yeah.
Can't get right, got killed.
Word. Can't get right.
Hey, somebody show me a picture. I don't think I know y'all talking about. Is this can't get
Is that can't get right? Is this
ain't called snitching. I'm just trying to get verified.
From here, people start commenting, can't get up. And it seems that the O Block hitters are so amused by this wordplay, they essentially confess to being involved in the murder on the spot.
They got some can't get up.
They always make some shit before we do it. They beat us to it every time.
Y'all should start killing people. Cause y'all be storing this. You storing the man.
Oh, see, this thing crazy.
After this, we see the crew say that it's 2 people down and that they're going to have to roll another one, whoever it is, seemingly unaware that it was an innocent cleaner who was killed in the incident.
They said 2 down. Damn.
2 men down. No, I can't take
David, they said it on both our lives. 2 pieces. 2 pieces. I can take it. Somebody roll up.
Can't.
Whoever else got hit.
They even started reacting mockingly to the ops posting long tributes to their fallen friend on Instagram in real time in this live.
See that paragraph under that picture, you know it's on.
Damn, best friend, you just told me to pop out. I remember back in the days when you just told me to pop out, best friend. Why the f you do me like this? You bogus as hell. They ain't trying to.
They gonna be business too. You let that get done.
From here, Von and his friends would continue mocking the ops by specific block and saying that the FM gave him a fresh fade like Lil Boosie.
Steady taking loss. STL. Steady taking loss. Motherfucker gave him a fresh fade. Boosie Boots. Hey, why did they even put him on Front Street like he was even like that though?
Then King Von comes back and says straight up, that Man must have known he was going to die and that no one will care he's gone.
He probably knew he was gonna die.
It is.
I wish I could talk to him. Don't nobody even care about King Von like that. I don't think they gonna slide like that. I don't think nothing finna happen because of that. So
They for the rest of their money on that.
we ain't even gonna act like nothing finna happen. Just y'all going out. Whoever ain't get shot, you lucky today. I'm going out. It's over.
After this, they even started reliving the hit, saying that their ops aren't used to somebody jumping out of the car and firing at them non-stop.
Somebody just putting on the cuss for real.
Looking at your ass.
Really on your ass. You just get the flat past your age. You just want to do like one of these because you acting like you stay tough. But get the head when you man, this shit I can't move.
Crump getting that deal before they got you too.
Whilst King Von is on live bragging about this hit from another city, O-Block members Muwop posted a picture on Instagram with fellow member Duke saying that they are shooters. Meanwhile, E-Dog from O-Block jumped on Twitter to say that the get back is not over. Just the day after the murder, King Von tweeted saying that the stakes are higher now than ever and that the police have their eye on him. Von later tweeted claiming that his brothers made the new op pack, literally giving direct responsibility for this murder to his team. It seemed clear at this point that Von was not only happy about the killing that his friends from O-Block were doing, but he was actively encouraging it, and quite possibly the one giving the orders. Friends of Man would post outright saying that they believed King Von paid for the hit.
Doing all that, tap him up and see if he can get up and all that goof ass. You know what I'm talking about too.
Well, do you guys feel that it was somebody from the other side that may have did it, or you think it was like a random act of violence?
Yo, watch this shit. Watch how this nigga snitching.
You know, did it, man. All these niggas in the city did it, man.
Okay.
Doesn't hate us. But they ain't gonna step outside them gates though. But they know. King Von. We gonna say his name. King Von.
But Von honestly didn't seem to care about anything at this point. And despite the fact that word was spreading that he was the shot caller in Get That Gang's murders, Von wasn't trying to keep this a secret. In fact, he was ready to broadcast that message to millions of people. Because on July the 31st, 2018, Lil Durk's Only the Family Involved Volume 1 compilation album releases. The project featured many of Lil Durk's friends, including King Von, whose new song Problems would be included in the project, with the entire track being all about Von having hitters that catch bodies for him, even warning people, do not get bodied by me. The song essentially tells the story of O-Block shooters killing people on Von's command. The song also featured an intro where he shouted out Get Back Gang, and there were lyrics about killing both the target and witnesses. Von would rap that killing is his hobby, and he says that his loyal shooters are the ones catching bodies for him. Von would also tease a music video for this track, which ended up dropping on Lil Durk's official YouTube channel on August the 9th, King Von's 24th birthday. Meanwhile, Lil Durk was impressed with King Von's murder raps, tweeting that Von was next up to break into the rap game. And this would be followed by Von telling fans that he would soon be dropping music with Lil Durk himself, and saying that he would be switching up and not associating with anyone he used to know.
Once this song with Durk drop, I'm not gonna know none of y'all. I'm back with money. I'm changing up.
Durk was clearly seeing the potential in King Von's music, and from here, the two of them would be seen together on social media, having a good time and getting the fans more and more familiar with Durk's newest prospect.
Yeah, what they talking about bodies like that. Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy. Come on, man. Get your cat dog looking ass on. Get your rat looking ass, big mouse looking ass on phone. Mickey Mouse.
Von was beginning to lay the foundations for a successful rap career, but he also continued to be reckless. Around this time, Von is seen in a viral Instagram live clip telling a small child on O-Block to disrespect Tuka and training him to shoot people in the head with a water pistol.
Shoot him in his head. Shoot him in his head. You got a point right here. Boom. Say it. Gotta shoot him in his head. Shoot him. Shoot him. Shot Tuka. Say Tuka, man. Shoot him again. Shoot him in his head.
After this, Von would tweet about having killers around him and posting pictures of his whole crew. And as Von's popularity grew, people would eventually annotate these pictures, speculating on how many people each O-Block member had killed. Naturally, all of this reckless behavior on social media brought even more police attention onto O-Block. By the end of August 2018, the block is hot, and King Von is seen on live observing arrests taking place on O-Block itself, even saying that he has his shoes tied in case he needs to run.
And I got my shoes tied. I'm getting out of there. They trying to find the secret recipe to the Krabby Patty secret formula. They trying to find the secret formula to the Krabby Patty recipe. Then they took the truck. No, they didn't take the truck, man. Traffic man skirt. We gonna get another We Rich. Y'all can have that one. That's the one we don't even like. They're trying to see what's going on. Somebody gangbang with us, BDK.
Von would tweet about not wanting to discuss murders on camera and suggesting that at this point the gang war must be over. But as we'd later find out, the war would be far from over. While King Von was making a name for himself as a rapper, still commanding his shooters from O-Block, he would continue to be associated with serious crimes from a distance. With the next incident involving one of his longest running enemies and a feared op of O-Block's, Wooski.
Golly, bro, you gotta have every 2 minutes.
Von had started out October 2018 strong, fresh off the back of his song and music video Problems, where he appeared to celebrate his gang murdering O-Block rival Can't Get Right. Von would continue pushing his career forward, dropping a full music video for his first song, Beat That Body with THF Bezu, which featured an intro where they both walked out of jail together. Outside of the music, Von was also beginning to notice the many videos being made about him and his past, even resharing a YouTube video breaking down his Twitter beef with FBG Duck, seemingly unhappy. Clearly Von was monitoring his reputation on social media and cultivating his brand as the toughest rapper out, doing all of this whilst real violent crimes would continue to play out on the streets of Chicago where he was from. Just before 4 p.m. on October the 9th, 2018, Chicago rapper Dusky the Man, real name Ventrese Chris, would be shot in the head on the 5600 block of South Michigan Avenue, apparently the result of a drive-by carried out by a passing ground vehicle. The evening before the murder took place, Von would tweet that there's a dark cloud over Chicago. King Von would go on live a few days later with Lil Durk, saying that he's smoking Dusky, KI, Tuka, and P5.
A lot of Superman in the ass like that. Yeah. A lot of fat ass Dusky in the ass, a lot of KI in the ass.
E-Dog in there.
A lot of P5 in the ass. Like this big in the ass. Okay, you got his foot up.
Know what's going on,
Put your foot down.
Hey, niggas know.
Oh,
Hey, ain't shit changed, man.
you a gangster. Only gangsters eat that.
You a beat, but you on.
You look nice. You looking real like you
sound
shut
like
up.
a PG like us, a play gangster.
Damn, you sound a little man.
Violence was continuing to play out in the streets, and Von was loving it, because he would continue taking the details of killings his crew were allegedly involved in and placing them into musical gangbanging anthems. Just after a week after the Dusky shooting on October the 18th, he dropped a new song called War With Us, notable for lyrics that appear to take credit for the murder of female driller KI, as well as lines dissing Tuka, and Von ending the song literally saying that he is a hitman. Von was dangerous, but now he was beginning to make it as a rapper. He wanted the whole world to know just how dangerous he really was. And one of the biggest enemies he wanted to get even with is a Tukaville GD by the name of Wooski. Von and Wooski had been going back and forth all the way back to 2012, when Von was catching bodies in Chicago. Von and Wooski had an infamous exchange on Twitter after trying to catch each other lacking at the local convenience store. Von would tweet at Wooski, bragging about people Wooski knew who Von or his friends had killed, something that Wooski would do back to Von in response. In one shocking back and forth in 2012, Von even bragged to Wooski that he had more bodies and attempts than him, with the two arguing about who would end up getting killed first. Not only did Von and Wooski's feud in the streets run deep all the way back before 2012, but now that Von was trying to make it as a rapper, he would be contending with the likes of Wooski picking up a microphone too, with Wooski having dropped the very disrespectful song Computers at the start of 2018, a track that featured numerous lyrics insulting dead O-Block affiliates like Big A, J Money, White, Chino, and O.D. Perry. Wooski even ended the song saying that they're on the hunt for the killers of Poppy and TB, two of the prominent murders seemingly committed by O-Block's Get Back gang. So, the beef between Von and Wooski was incredibly personal, and Wooski was also very close with the recently deceased Dusky, with them having made the song Shooters together. Just a few days after Dusky was killed, King Von and others from O-Block would FaceTime Wooski, telling him that they were going to catch him by surprise.
You should be brother, yeah, you know the going on. They should be brother, you know. I wish I could say one of y'all was my boy. You got all groupies over there.
That's crazy. They really had their ops phone number and all that.
And they actually called him, tell him you next.
Yeah.
On FaceTime.
On FaceTime. And they live about 5-10 minutes apart.
Around the corner.
The courage of me. We go surprise. You talking about tonight. We go surprise, bro. The bitches out for the free. But you talking about tonight.
So from here, it seems like Wooski's ops hatched up a plot to shoot up Dooski's funeral because they knew that he would be there. On the afternoon of the 22nd of October, at Dooski's funeral, soon after this picture is taken, a car turns up. People jump out of that car and begin shooting into the crowd outside the church, firing indiscriminately, but looking specifically to kill Wooski. 6 people were hit in this shooting, with Wooski himself being shot in the head, but he would miraculously survive. Only a few days after the shooting, Von would begin tweeting, I kid you not, comparing himself to Jesus, and then tweeting, laugh now, cry later, and game over, we won, with fellow O-Block shooter Muwop retweeting and agreeing with this. Over the next few years, Von would go on to drop numerous disrespectful lyrics referencing the shooting of Wooski, like on the track Grandson for President, where he raps that Wooski got shot in his head and now has to take medicine for his injuries.
That's a good stop, part to pause. Hey, go follow me on TikTok, Jordy Reacts, man. Go follow me on TikTok. The video, you already know, the video we did to this right here, I put a clip of that on TikTok, and it said like 70-something K after like a couple of days. You seen it already. That's the this the part he talking about.
Hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Right?
Yeah, what he said. What, on TikTok?
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, just follow me on TikTok.
I don't know.
Like, comment, subscribe on this video though. I mean on this channel.
Von would rap on the song GTA, Who Shot Wooski, How Would I Know? Von also rapped on the track Go and Get 'Em that he will be at your funeral on time to give your mother a tissue. And then there's the lyrics on his track Back Again, where he literally says that he slides at funerals, shoots everyone outside, and that Wooski is going to feel this one. Going on to say, I bet Wooski's still twitching, he changed, something different. Those are some of the most disrespectful lyrics I have ever come across, but it's also incredibly self-incriminating. It's honestly insane that Von was getting away with stuff like this, but it really was this kind of raw and real content that attracted so many people to his music, whether or not they even knew what he was talking about. From here, Von would continue to mock Wooski throughout his career, posting disrespectful pictures to him on Instagram on a regular basis. But ultimately, despite being literally shot in the head, Wooski is still alive today in 2023 and still posting on Instagram. In fact, Wooski would indeed outlive King Von, just like he had promised him on Twitter in 2012, the day before Boss Trail died. But for the time being, Wooski would take a step back from the beef with Von and O-Block, and a newly charged King Von would go all in on his rap career, continuing to roll with Lil Durk and going on to record song after song about living the lifestyle of a shot-calling killer. But unfortunately for Lil Durk, rolling with this loose cannon would soon be causing him problems too, and it would only be a matter of months after the funeral shooting that Lil Durk would find himself in a car with a trigger-happy King Von, perhaps succumbing to peer pressure and picking up a gun of his own, with Lil Durk making a split-second decision that would nearly cost him his career and freedom.
Oh, we gotta do the song Turn Myself In by Durk. This when he turned himself in, he dropped the song right before he went in. Yeah, that reaction gonna be on the way, man. We're gonna do that Turn Myself In by Durk. So when this happened, I remember when this happened too. It kind of just broke on the internet, and then he had dropped the song. He basically was turning himself in the next day or whatever. I'm thinking it was over with. I'm like, him and Von locked up. I said, it might be over with for real.
Crazy stories.
A month after the shooting at Dooski's funeral, which critically injured Wooski, King Von seemed to be worried about his reputation, tweeting that the past is always coming back to haunt him, and saying that he's not a murderer, not a rapper, not a scammer, just handsome. But also tweeting that if you play with him on the internet, he's going to your house. Perhaps behind the scenes, Von was beginning to struggle to manage his reputation. Now he was becoming a legitimate rapper in the music industry, he might have been worried about his past as a killer getting in the way of his new plans. Von said that he was having nightmares during this time, and that he was popping pills to cope. There'd be a few interesting exchanges around this time too, like a Twitter conversation between Von and his baby mama, where Von joked that he would put her on the news, and then backtracking, having to deny being a killer. At this point, Von was clearly concerned about his reputation and was on edge to even joke about being a killer. But one person who wasn't worried about Von's reputation was Lil Durk, who was doing everything he could to put King Von on during this time. In mid-November 2018, Lil Durk previews King Von's upcoming song, Crazy Story, on his Instagram. Fans knew that something huge was coming. Lil Durk was taking Von to parties to rub shoulders with other huge rappers in the industry like YNW Melly and Roddy Ricch, even taking an enthusiastic King Von to the studio to hang out with Gunna.
Hey, Durk, yo, Gunna, shalom. Okay, cool, man.
Durk would even bring King Von along to his interviews, with Lil Durk's November 2018 visit to the Breakfast Club being one of the first times that the mainstream music-listening public got a glimpse of King Von. And this would end up being a legendary appearance. Clearly doing all he could to put the spotlight on his friend and artist, Durk had brought Von onto one of the most famous rap interview shows in the world.
What's your artist name, bro?
King Von.
What's up, sir?
What's up, John?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Durk would tell Charlemagne that he wanted to sign Von because of the backstory behind him, with Charlemagne not being quite prepared for the realness when Von started talking about beating his murder charge.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind.
What's the story? What's your story?
My story, I just got to jail for beat a body in 2 attempts. Like,
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat. Yeah,
Charlemagne got quiet. Charlemagne got quiet for a second. That's the first time he didn't have a quick comeback.
Oh, me?
I mean, he had to think about that for a second. He said, what? 1 murder, 2 attempts.
He said so calmly, too.
Right.
That's why the cop,
Beat a body.
when the cop had asked him, that's why the cop was like, what?
in 2 attempts. Like,
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't do it.
like, you know, jury, yeah, look, you know.
In the interview, you could visibly see Lil Durk trying to look out for Von and covering his tracks after Charlemagne began asking Von if he actually did the murder, with Durk butting in, saying that Von beat it because he didn't do it.
You gonna beat it. You gonna beat it if you didn't do it. That's all.
Von would go on to say that he can't get a normal job in Chicago because he's done so much dirt in the streets that if he was seen working a normal job, he would probably be killed on sight.
It's like, I can't work no job in Chicago, you see what I'm saying?
Why couldn't you work a job in Chicago?
I got a face card. I can't.
Oh, I got you. People know
Like,
you.
say if I'm behind the counter at McDonald's, somebody coming out there, do something crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Then, at the end of the interview, as Von was explaining to Charlemagne that he had no plans after jail because he's got no experience doing anything, suddenly Durk begins to cough, seemingly giving Von an indication not to say anything incriminating about his former life as a killer.
What other plans did you have other than rap?
I ain't had no plan. That's the thing. Like, you get out, you got a lot of shit on your mind, so you getting that what to do. It's like back to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
No experience is doing nothing. I ain't, you know.
Word.
This interview was also the perfect opportunity.
I told him to shut up.
Yeah.
Basically, Durk a real big homie, even though, yeah, Durk was older. That's a real big homie for you though, because Von looked like he was just. Von ain't never been in no interview. This the Breakfast Club, so he ain't never did nothing like this. Von was just finna get to talking.
Right.
You like, all right, you don't tell too much now.
Enough's enough.
Yeah.
Back to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
No experience is doing nothing. I ain't, you know.
This shit got awkward and quiet too.
This interview was also the perfect opportunity for Von to promote his upcoming hit song, Crazy Story.
Crazy Story drop like sometime this week coming up. Sometime like any day.
Von would go on to tease the music video for Crazy Story, telling fans that he has a movie coming. And he would even surprise himself with the amount of comments that he got on the post about the song. Von would go on to release the audio for Crazy Story on December the 6th, 2018, just 1 day before the 1-year anniversary of him beating his murder case. Von would claim around this time to be making chess moves in the hopes that he would win at life. And his next move would indeed be a big one, with the full-blown music video for Crazy Story dropping on WorldStar on the 11th of December. Von himself would be amazed at racking up a whopping 110,000 views in his first day. But the appeal of Crazy Story was undeniable. It was a storytelling type song where Von would use his lyrics to tell an entire narrative, telling the story of himself plotting an armed robbery on a rich drug dealer and using a woman to set them up. But the robbery would go wrong when Von's ops caught him lacking, with the track ending in a shootout, and the entire story playing out in the cinematic music video for the song, with Von playing the main character and narrator. Von would end the song dropping his iconic final line where he introduced the world to his regular catchphrase, rapping from 64th and from 65th, we not from 63rd, shouting out O-Block on 64th and 65th King Drive, and dissing his ops from 63rd and St. Lawrence and Eberhart Avenues, aka Tukaville. Dissing 63rd would become a massive part of Von's brand, and he would even later be seen selling merch showing the street sign for 63rd with a big cross over it. And the popularity of the song Crazy Story had Von's fans all over the world dissing 63rd without really even knowing what it means. Crazy Story was distributed by Lil Durk's OTF label and racked up a whopping 3 million views in a week. This is a huge hit, and today it sits over 69 million views on YouTube. Von was on a high after dropping Crazy Story. The week after the release, he would tweet a picture with the caption saying that people see you shining and forget that you're dangerous. And from here, he would make numerous tweets suggesting that the money was finally rolling in. At the end of December 2018, Durk would hop on an Instagram live with Von with a big stack of money celebrating the success of their release.
Oh, what's that?
I got a drop on the flex. He from Tennessee.
What that is? Confetti in your hand?
I'm playing, boy.
Now, bro. Don't throw that. Hey, you gonna break something in that house. Don't throw that.
Then in the new year, King Von would begin performing his hit song at live shows, even reacting on Twitter to his new song playing on the radio, suggesting that some people might have been shocked when they heard him coming out of their car stereo. Von felt like he had truly made it at this point, tweeting that even his mother was finally proud of him and saying that he felt truly blessed for the position that he had reached in life. But some people in Chicago were surprised. Now King Von was being played on the radio, doing interviews with The Breakfast Club, and becoming a household name. Some people who knew him in Chicago for being a ruthless shooter were giving the side eye. There was actually a really interesting Reddit thread asking people who knew of Von before 2017 to share what they thought when they saw him getting success in the music industry. Some said that they thought when he first started rapping he wouldn't get it.
He dropped his first time. Dang, that gotta be crazy though. For all the people that did know him prior, like that knew him before the rap.
Right.
You all of a sudden, you know he a real killer in the streets. Like he ain't one of these fake killer rappers or whatever. You know he really did something in the streets, and now all of a sudden you hear him on your radio. Anyway, that gotta be crazy.
It is, because you ran down the street and you're like, man, I was with him.
Now, this man on the radio. Whole city going crazy. Everybody know who Von is, but they don't know who the real Von is at that time.
Anywhere, but then when he kept progressing, it seemed like his life was a real movie. Whilst another person would say, 100% I could not believe, when Durk took him on Breakfast Club, it was so surreal. And he almost admitted to murder on there too. But still, I never thought he would blow up. Then Crazy Story came out and started picking up steam, and it was like, dear God, this literal gang assassin is being played at NFL stadiums. Off the back.
Definitely a dance in here.
Not for long.
He get played NBA arenas, whatever.
Back of the success of Crazy Story, King Von would begin going even harder in his music, with his next track getting even more disrespectful.
I call it now. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody one day came out with a movie over King Von. Not like a documentary, but like a movie based off his life.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised, like how they got the hood classes paid in full. You know, you got movies like that,
right.
Boys in the Hood, stuff like that. I promise you, I would not be surprised if a movie come out and it's based off. You know, it's probably gonna be like it's probably like loosely based off this a real story or something like that. Right. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that. It'll be guys, hey. I might need to do it myself, you know. It sounds like that'd be hard. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it will be hard. I mean, this is like this documentary. What this guy's doing right now. He took all this footage and pieced this whole thing together, and he got us watching it 3 hours long.
Facts.
So someone else do the same thing. Yourself do the same thing, and make a movie. You know, it could be a miniseries.
Y'all see it. I'm talking about a real movie. I'm talking about like paid in full, like a real movie. You know,
like a movie. You could do a movie. You could do a miniseries.
Y'all see that happened one day. Just you heard it here first, man. Need my dollars.
On January the 9th, 2019, Memo 600 and King Von will drop their new track, Exposing Me. And in the song, Von mentions Wooski getting shot in the head. He says that he's put in so much work in the street that Get Back Gang will now look out for him. He says outright that he was a killer before the rap, and saying, I swear I killed her, broke her back. a possible reference to K.I.'s murder, he would say that...
Oh yeah, they just told me that in the comments on, forgot what song we did. Nah, I think somebody had commented on when we react to Expose Me. They had commented, it was like, y'all missed the part when he said I broke her back.
Yeah.
Basically saying he was referencing K.I.
And that's so real because that's on my playlist, and I do go to the gym. I work out listening to it. I have listened to the lyrics a little bit harder because now I really, before this documentary, I already really truly believe this guy is who he is. So when I really do listen to his lyrics, I heard him say that, and I'm like, I believe him. Like, it's in a rap, so you can say whatever you want to say. But when he said I killed her, I really did that. I believe it. Like, you know, this guy's. But this is before this.
Smoking Tuka and Lil Mark, and Von even shouts out an old friend from O Block, DQ, as his shooter, suggesting that he will call a hit and have DQ shoot someone for him. It seemed like the more violent and real Von's music got, the more fans flocked to him. But since the success of his crazy story, and being brought under the wing of successful Chicago drill rap legend Lil Durk, Von was spending a lot of time away from the mean streets of Chicago that he had rapped about, instead beginning to get used to living the high life of a successful rapper like Durk. Rather than jumping in stolen cars and doing drills, Von was seen with Durk jumping off of luxury yachts, seemingly surrounded by people who knew his reputation.
I didn't realize something. I didn't skip ahead or nothing, did I? Oh no, it's still the same segment. I would say, because he ain't never get into, he showed Durk and them going to jail, but he ain't never get into the case yet.
Well.
Okay, Durk, yo, it's on you now. This Durk scared. This scared. Okay, Von. This scared. Yeah, I'm a big. Look at Von. He too scared. They talking about Von. She scared to jump. Now they're talking about you, all that savage, you scared to jump in the water.
For all of the success Von was seeing, things seemed to change who he really was underneath. It seemed like Durk was doing his best to take a killer out of a dangerous environment and turn him into a good person and rapper. But perhaps Lil Durk didn't realize that he was also inviting that killer energy into his legitimate rap career. Because on February the 5th, 2019, around 5:49 AM, Lil Durk and King Von were allegedly outside Atlanta restaurant, the Varsity. Here, an altercation would take place in the parking lot where allegedly Lil Durk and King Von, along with fellow OTF affiliate THF Bezu and another Chicago native named Hella Bands, would allegedly shoot and rob a man by the name of Alexander Witherspoon, allegedly targeting him for $30,000 cash that he had on him at the time. Detectives would later claim that a video showed Lil Durk shooting out of his own personal car, a custom Jeep Trackhawk with a camouflage wrap and a large 300 on the sign that he was known to own. Durk had even posted clips of this car to Twitter with the caption, "Spin, spin," clips which even Von himself had reposted. Cops would be seen analysing the scene after the shooting, and the local news would report on the shooting before even becoming aware of these famous rappers' involvement.
Police found several shell casings in this parking lot. The Varsity was closed at the time this happened, around 5:45 this morning, but this club across Spring Street was open, and one patron who was parked in the Varsity lot to go to that club told me what he went through. The man from Chicago, who goes by Gutta, returned to the Varsity parking lot this afternoon to change the tire and assess the damage on his cousin's car after it was hit by bullets.
Tired, exhausted, wild night. I'm just happy I'm alive, basically. So that's really what my main focus is.
He had just paid the cover to get into one cigar lounge across Spring Street when he heard the shots outside around 5:45 a.m. He says people hit the floor and he hid in a bathroom. Police say a 23-year-old man was in serious condition when he was rushed to the hospital after the shooting. They are now looking for a dark-colored SUV. They are doing anything they can to help Atlanta police.
The afternoon after the shooting, Von would post up on Twitter with a handful of cash and a gun on the couch next to him. Later on, posting a tweet saying you never know who's going to snitch when the cops come. Then, the day after the shooting, Von would tweet asking if you can be a killer and a good person too. A few days later, on February the 9th, 2019, Von would be seen in the background on an Instagram Live with Asian Doll, with Von talking to his friend on the phone, possibly about this very shooting. He would seemingly be telling his friend that he thinks he made all of the wrong moves and saying that the cops are now watching him.
Now you know I ain't trying to do none of this. Oh dude, that's so fluky. We just did the first time I took it, together, it was fool. You just feel like you made all the wrong moves, you know, on mistake. We just tweaking on foot, you know. We just got to be tighter last time for them. Now you understand, see that look. See that's the part I was there, like everybody be tweaking with me on, oh you know Jason, them all of my tweaking with me talking about this, that and that. But I ain't letting you know that. I'm just letting them tickle me and trying to make sure everything decent. All the time you don't be seeing all that part, man. I'm all with the man about putting on. I'm about to do the show. I'm about to be on the stage. I'm about to be in airwork, man. You think I'm
talking about where the fuck he get that accent?
Man, they be tickling me, bro. I'm that song, man.
I don't understand sometimes, y'all. Either.
Man, you worry about the honest. Looks big, man. What, man? You even speak about the celebration. Everything about the freaky today, oh. Yeah, I know that I look out, I'm swinging and chuck it out. I'm make it out like that. But you know, I'm high and thinking about it.
But clearly, Von wasn't too worried about the cops watching because he would tweet on February the 21st that he was ready to catch another body. And the day after, Von jumps on a reckless IG live with fans, showing off all the money he had apparently made from features, dissing Tuka, and saying that he's not a rapper, just a gangster who raps for the money.
Hey, this beats like, you know, I just picked this up, little folks. What you about to drink some, smoke some? No, I'm gonna smoke Tuka. You know who Tuka is? No, what is that? That's him. He been dead for a long time. You don't know Tuka? The rapper! No, I'm not a rapper, man. See, they think I'm a hoe. Nah, I'm a gangster. I just rap.
While cops were slowly piecing together the facts about the shooting, Von was continuing with his rap career, without sparing a thought to how much self-incrimination he was doing to himself at the time. On February the 28th, Von drops a feature on Dari's song, Gang Only, where he raps he has a lot of bodies, even saying that on his first murder, the victim thought it was a robbery. Around a week later, on March the 5th, 2019, King Von's song Wait unofficially leaks. That track has some brazen lyrics, where he says that he has more bodies than the killer from Scream, as well as admitting that he shot up Dunbar School with L.A. Capone, something he had tweeted about prior. He would also say that he remembers his first murder and saying that he missed a bunch of shots, but now his aim is better. And while these demonic tracks are circulating online, King Von and Lil Durk are having a great time flexing on Instagram Live and fighting over who has the most money and designer clothing.
Hey, you saw me flexing earlier?
No, man, I was too big.
Nickname Pop Pop. Pop Pop, no spinach. Yeah. Hold on.
Drilling is still in it.
I was too big, you know. I just know.
What?
I just married myself to death.
Flash.
That's no matter though. You over there with 20 of them.
Huh?
You over there with $20.
Don't try to count my pockets. I'm fucking crazy. Hey, what's all the damn? You do it too much. Don't GPS and them things.
That's a couple bucks.
Hey, I'm saying.
$5.50 a piece.
You still flexing?
Hey, got these Chanel right here.
Later on in this live, Von would joke to Lil Durk, saying that he was smoking on Lil Mark and Tuka.
I'm right here kicking a Lil Mark. Dirty ass.
Damn.
Marky.
That shit be so much yesterday, man.
Marky.
I'm sleep in the studio.
Tuka, nigga, y'all going on. I don't know about this.
But at this point, King Von was playing huge concerts to massive crowds and selling verses to other rappers all over the country and making headlines in major rap publications. King Von would tweet around this time that he was scared to go back to jail and hoping that he wasn't making the wrong decisions, and suggesting that he was worried that if he did go back to jail, all his new friends would leave him behind. But no matter how far Von got into the rap industry, he just couldn't stop toting guns and thugging. At the end of March, Von was seen riding around with Lil Durk, toting a big strap for any ops that might pull up, even joking about having more bodies than anyone in the car and saying that he's about to get indicted and go to jail for a long time.
Oh, so they got accurate. So look, yeah.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I remember this live. There was when you said the opposite hill we gotta act right, they was on live singing Beyonce and stuff. So they were just fooling around singing some, they were playing some R&B music or whatever. And then that's when he had said that, talking about the opposite hill, we gotta act right. I remember that clip going viral.
And saying that he's about to get indicted and go to jail for a long time.
Oh, so they got accurate. So look, yeah. Stop playing. They back on? Are they right now? Up and down we go.
I'm coming out. Look.
After this, Dirk had whoever was behind the wheel driving incredibly fast in that Jeep Trackhawk, with Von seemingly in fear of his life and joking that his gun is about to go off.
It's up good now.
Up and down we go.
Oh, you go crazy. Riding in that steel, in that two-seater, riding on the toxic damn. Ain't no dick lift up, make you do hot dog.
Look at motherfucker now. Nah, cuz, you right. You got it on the track, bro. I'll talk to my fans for this. You know? What you talking about, boy? Slow music is gonna work. Hey, you know that motherfucker be scared as hell. Doing 300 on that motherfucker. Your life plan. Hey, Chop, so y'all scream. So shut the up.
My seat went off. Hey, back seat one. Damn, my seat got on.
Hey, tell
Seatbelt need to work.
Chop, so shut your crazy ass up.
Seatbelt, bro. You hear that motherfucker? Seatbelts don't work in this car.
You trying to put the seatbelt on, bro?
Yeah, I'm moving around on the back seat.
I wouldn't chase me in that.
Down the ride to my home,
Now you back talking that gangster. You just scream like no. You just scream. He text you, tell him, look, bro. How's I'm gonna read it, motherfucker, both of you out there.
Dirk and Von were clearly living the fast life at this point, and seemingly having faced no consequences so far for the shooting at the Varsity nearly 2 months before. However, rumours would continue to swirl about their involvement in serious crimes. On the 31st of March 2019, King Von is seen hanging out with Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, who is signed to Baton Rouge rapper NBA Youngboy, with Quando appearing in a clip on King Von's Instagram where he would diss Von's ops on 60.
Hey, y'all want us to react to them too? Put it in the comments, man. I put the little poll out, and I thought NBA Youngboy was gonna win the poll. I picked, I had like 5 different rappers on there for y'all to pick from when I hit 5K subs, and I'm like under 200 away now. But somehow Lil Baby is winning the poll, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I ain't the biggest Baby fan, but if that's what y'all want, then we'll do that for sure. But if y'all want us to react to Youngboy and Quando soon, we gonna get on that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm standing on it, y'all 63rd. Dirty ass. Hey, Mr. Little Man, 64, y'all 63rd over there.
It seems that back then, Von and Quando Rondo's camps were pretty cool with each other. That very same night that he was with Quando, Von is seen hanging out and hitting the stage with Lil Durk. Von would tweet a picture with Dirk along with a caption saying they've got a...
Hey man, look like we gonna stop there, man. It's part 2. We got about 1 hour 12 left. That's gonna be part 3 for y'all. We're gonna finish it up on part 3. But part 2 kind of crazy. They say so he basically said if Von was still here, that they would have got charged for it. They'll still be fighting that case.
Yeah, it's definitely be fighting the case, but you got Von's gone. You got the other guy killed in Miami.
He got killed. The only other one that's here, Basil, THF Basil. So Dirk ended up getting off for that.
You did get off for that?
Yeah, they said they dropped him. They dropped him. I think a couple months or something like that after Von death, something like that. I don't know, but I know the charges got dropped.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely gotta react to that "Turn Myself In" by Dirk. I ain't gonna lie, that when that song dropped though, I ain't gonna lie, he dropped that song was too hard. That was one of my favorite songs for a little minute when he dropped that. I forgot how long it was even locked up. I want to say some months. He was locked up for real.
So he was locked up for a couple months.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that's what made it sad when Von passed away, because they they were still fighting that case. Dirk and them couldn't have been around. They weren't around each other for like about 6+ months or whatever.
They were still doing music together.
I mean, them probably songs they probably have been recorded together and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't know if they was sending each other verses for music or something like that, but like you see like some of the songs we did, pretty much I think all the Dirk and Von songs we did, they were never in a video together.
Right.
Cause they were fighting that case. So yeah. Besides the Crazy Story 2.0, it's the only video they got to do together.
Right.
So that's just crazy. But yeah, man, part 3 coming soon, man. We're gonna try to knock that out, get that out to y'all. Make sure y'all leave a like, comment, subscribe, post notification bell. Gang.